What's up guys? Today another special one lined up for you guys. Hope you guys are going to enjoy this video. Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel. Put your notifications on and let's build this channel from the ground up. See you guys in the video.
The Simpsons' prediction of a huge earthquake that will hit the United States on February 20th to 25th. In The Simpsons, the ground starts shaking hard. Buildings sway violently. Roads crack open, swallowing cars, and power lines collapse, causing massive blackouts. Sirens and alarms blare as chaos unfolds. Scientists had warned people, but no one listened. The earthquake strikes without warning, leaving no time to escape. People scream and run in panic as bridges collapse. Glass shatters from skyscrapers and water pipes burst, flooding streets. Homes crumble in seconds, forcing many to sleep outside. Grocery stores quickly run out of food and water, and phone networks fail, cutting off communication. Gas leaks trigger devastating fires. Hospitals fill up with injured victims, and rescue workers struggle to find survivors under the rubble. Smoke rises from the destruction, and shattered roads make travel impossible. Cities are left in ruins, and the aftermath leaves people desperate for help and safety. Follow for more fictional stories.
I'm starting to believe the Simpsons right there is a time traveler.
You know, I wasn't even going to post on this, and then I saw some clips that changed my mind, and I'll show you those in a moment. But first, Elon Musk yesterday, along with his son Little X, held a press conference in the Oval Office to discuss what Doge is doing, all while Donald Trump watched on silently from his cuck chair. And in the aftermath, one of Elon's fanboys shared this tweet that Elon reposted. It says, "History repeats itself," and it shows two images. The first image is a pretty iconic image of JFK Jr. playing underneath his dad's desk while he worked in the Oval Office. And the second is Little X seemingly bored out of his mind, crawling around on the floor while Donald Trump pontificates about what he liked watching from said cuck chair. But I can point out at least one glaring difference between these two situations. JFK Jr., as I recall, never had criticisms of his father while the press was there. Little X, on the other hand, has a lot to say, and there was a hot mic that caught some of it. So first is this little gem.
To restore democracy. This may seem like bull.
You heard that too, right? You're not the president, you need to go away. I'll play the clip a second time. Just, you watch and tell me if that's what he said.
To restore democracy. This may seem like...
That's what he said, but I'll go one better. Because he also said this.
The prices from one year to the next are the same, and their mortgage.
That one's clear as day. He says, "I want you to shut your fucking mouth up." And there's already people who are like, "Out of the mouth of babes." But let me just put this out there for your consideration. A child this young doesn't have this profound moment where he tells off Trump. He just repeats things he's heard. So if he says you're not really the president, chances are someone has said that around him, and he's repeating it. When he says, "I want you to shut your fucking mouth up," he's either heard someone say that to someone else, or someone has said that to him, and he's repeating it. Either scenario is pretty disturbing. But perhaps the question we should be asking is the same one that Shea Jordan Smith asked on Twitter, which is, why the fuck is Elon Musk doing press briefings in the White House from the Oval Office? He is not an elected official. Why is he holding court in the Oval Office? Nothing about this is normal or good.
First off, he's so worried about SpaceX and Tesla. Should be teaching your child some manners.
Fox News alert, the Wall Street Journal is reporting the CIA has reportedly just offered a buyout to its entire workforce. Everyone in the agencies telling employees late today they can quit their jobs and receive about 8 months of pay and benefits. It's a part of Trump's push to downsize the federal government. More as we get it.
Ever heard of a doomsday map?
All these rich people, man, all these billionaires, they know something we don't. Something big. You ever hear of Gordon Michael Scallion?
No, who is he?
Exactly. No one talks about him. But listen, this guy, people called him a prophet. He had visions, real visions, of how the world would change. And he made a map. A doomsday map.
Doomsday like apocalypse level?
Like whole states gone. California, underwater, Florida, flooded, and right through the middle of the US, a massive, huge river splitting the country in two.
That's crazy.
Crazy? Crazy is what they want you to think. But look, Look where the billionaires are buying land. Bill Gates owns most of the farmland in America now. And guess where? High ground. Safe zones.
And yeah, a lot of them are moving to Texas too.
Talking about Texas, look at the map. Texas is untouched, dry. It's all planned. They're getting ready. I'm telling you, they know. They're not guessing, not gambling. They have the blueprint for what's coming. And we're just, what? Sitting around sending memes waiting to drown? It's actually terrifying.
This is just a theory, not a fact.
Just imagine that was true.
Elon's going to steal everybody's money. He has $400 billion. I'm telling you, he's not going to steal your money. I'm telling you, that's not what he's doing. What he's doing is, he's a super genius that's been fucked with. Okay? And when you've been fucked with by these nitwits that hide behind three-letter agencies, and you're dealing with one of the smartest people alive, and he helps Donald Trump get into office, and he goes, I want to find out what kind of corruption is really around. Well, you fucked up. You fucked up and picked the wrong psychopath on the spectrum, because he's gonna hunt you down. He's gonna find out what's going on, and that's good. That's good for everybody. That's how you should be looking at this. Like, wow, we have a brilliant mind that is examining these really fucking corrupt and goofy systems and bringing in a bunch of psychopath wizards.
Is that CGI or is it real? What do you guys think? It's kind of real to me.
It only took Hitler 60 days to rise to being a dictator after being elected. Donald Trump is on day 18 and just 2 days ago, the Justice Department released a memo reinstating the death penalty for federal crimes. They had a long list of violent crimes that warrant the death penalty, and at the very end, they slipped in illegal immigration. Just last week, Donald Trump announced that Guantanamo Bay, which has only previously held 1,000 prisoners, will be repurposed to house 30,000 deported migrants. This week, he has started deporting migrants to Guantanamo Bay, but has yet to build a facility that can hold 30,000 deported migrants. Instead, they will be staying in tent camps on the island. Genocide does not only happen through the forceful execution of a people, it can also happen through the neglect of resources, food, shelter, and medical care. It is very difficult to get resources to Guantanamo Bay, as it can only be accessed by airplane or ship. And with the lack of resources, shelter, and medical supplies on Guantanamo Bay, it is very clear that the deported migrants will not be leaving. The United States is not worth dying for, and being in the country without the proper paperwork is not deserving of the death penalty. It is important to remember in these times that in World War II Germany, the Holocaust also began as a mass deportation effort.
Facts.
2025 will be bad luck for the USA. As 2025 started, the USA was struck by one disaster after another. A massive wildfire erupted in Los Angeles, forcing thousands to flee as smoke darkened the sky. Before the fire was contained, California was rocked by a powerful earthquake, reducing buildings to rubble and trapping millions. Then, a rare snowstorm paralyzed New York, crippling transportation and causing chaos. While the nation struggled, DeepSeek, a secretive tech company, stole $1 trillion from the U.S. economy, triggering a financial crisis. As panic spread, a deadly virus emerged, overwhelming hospitals and forcing lockdowns. Torrential rains followed, leading to massive floods that destroyed entire cities, and soon after, a devastating tsunami struck the East Coast. Resources ran low, and fear consumed the country. Strangely, The Simpsons had predicted it all. With each new catastrophe, people wondered if the worst was over or if more disasters awaited. Follow for more fictional story.
Very early in 2025,
here we go.
All hell is going to break loose. The volume of sightings, weird objects in the sky, it's off the charts. I am swamped by people sending me videos from all over the world. And it's not just in Bedminster, New Jersey. It's not just in the United Kingdom. It's India, Greenland, Russia, Kazakhstan, China, Japan. I cannot believe the volume of sightings that are going on at the moment. Something is showing itself in our skies. We are going to look back and we are going to say that the autumn of the drones was a turning point. There's consistent sightings of drones over military facilities. It sounds like nothing at the moment, but I wager it's going to turn out to be enormous. I think 2024 in future will be seen, ironically, as the calm before the storm. A reckoning is coming.
I believe that. I can also feel it.
Monster storm is here and will hit California extremely hard in the next 24 to 30 hours, and especially for Southern California. Buckle up.
Did you know that on April 22, 2025, Earth is going to be hit by meteors again? And this day, 20 meteors pieces of the Earth are going to fall every hour, which you will get to see some of this kind of view in the sky. So actually, on April 22, a Lyrids meteor shower is going to happen, which happens every year in the month of April. But this time, it is going to fall in a large number, and you can also see it in the United States. Let me tell you that a Lyrids meteor is a debris left behind by a comet called C-1861, G1 Thatcher, which was discovered in 1861. These meteors can sometimes produce bright dust trails that last for several seconds. The shower runs annually from April 16 to 25. It peaks this year on the night of the 22nd and morning of the 23rd. The thin crescent moon will not pose much of a problem, so this should be a good show. Best viewing will be from a dark location after midnight. Meteors will radiate from the constellation Lyra, but can appear anywhere in the sky. Friends, let me know if you are ready for this event by commenting.
They say the world will go dark for 3 days in 2025.
Start to use drones all over the place. They're all at a certain level, all above, just buzzing around. He said you're going to start to hear a lot about aliens on TV. You're going to start to see more what they want to call UFO encounter lights and things in the sky is what he's warning me about. He said there will actually be a great deception.
That is kind of freaky. This guy literally predicted the attempt on Donald Trump a few months back. And everything he said on that, which was recorded months and months ago, is also true. Crazy how he's getting these visions or prophecies. I wonder where these are coming from. Are they really coming from God? And I do agree with him about the drones. It is definitely some form of a great deception, whether it's Project Bluebeam or some other scheme that the government's got under their sleeve.
I have to agree on that one.
This is going to blow your mind. Lockheed Martin has invented a technology for planes that allows the plane to literally change shape, grow, change color, charge itself without any wires, and also potentially fly autonomously, which for us sounds a lot like what we perceive to be UFOs. They've developed a technology called the skin of an aircraft, and it's not like your traditional paint job that's a protective layer over the plane. This acts like a living organism, and it can literally allow the plane to change shape on demand. It's more of a muscular material. So what happens is the plane has an intuitive ability to sense when the plane needs to change shape. So imagine it'd be like if you had a couch that sensed that you needed a nap, and so it changed into a recliner. This is all possible because of the plane's advanced sensors and data flow that are built into the skin using no wires. It is because of this advanced technology that the plane is also able to change color in seconds and also potentially fly autonomously. They believe these planes will fly in packs and are smart enough to communicate and learn from each other while mid-flight. So next time you're out and you think you're seeing UFOs, you might just be seeing Lockheed Martin testing out this new technology. Also, if they're announcing this technology to the public, it makes you wonder what type of technology is out there being used by the government right now. As always, I want to hear what you think about all of this down below.
Do you guys really think they are testing that aircraft still? That technology has been around for a long time. I highly doubt that they just figured that out. Because many of these things that we see in the sky, in my opinion, is not of alien origin. I think that's our own things that we see in the sky. Some of it, maybe some of them are aliens, but I believe there's a lot of them that's our own thing, our own stuff that we created.
This is the Capitol Dome. Your guys bring in pieces into the office and say, "Hey, boss, here's what I found."
Look what we found today. It doesn't look like that from the ground, but when you get up close, this is what you actually see. But over the course of nearly 15 years, these are just a small sample of the pieces that have broken off the dome. You know, a great example of a piece of cast iron, you can see the level of rust behind it that is just eating away at the cast iron.
These are the original pieces, 150 years old.
That's exactly
Wow, that's
right.
heavy.
It is. I think this acorn is probably 40 pounds. Imagine if this were fall to the ground or fall to the roof of the Capitol building. That would be a serious problem.
Yeah, this stuff is really, really heavy. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness, that is probably 40 pounds or more. That is something. Wow.
So imagine not just lifting the ornamentation up, but lifting up the steel trusses, or the cast iron trusses, that is, without electricity, with a steam derrick, and the level of effort it took to construct this dome of cast iron.
But imagine something like this tumbling down 100 feet, 150 feet, even more.
That's right.
It'd go right through the roof of the building.
It probably would. I think we have some 5-gallon paint buckets full of pieces like this that have come off the dome, fallen off the dome, or been taken off the dome.
When you were trying to convince the members of Congress to appropriate the money for the restoration, did you bring this stuff into their office? Did
Absolutely.
They say, Congressman, here's what the dome looks like to me?
A picture is worth 1,000 words.
Pretty convincing.
You guys believe that's from the dome? You know what dome they're speaking about, right?
Nur Sultan voltou a ser o palco do Congresso de Líderes das Religiões Mundiais e Tradicionais. O Papa Francisco marcou presença nesta 7ª edição, assim como altos representantes de várias religiões. Um encontro para a promoção da paz.
Mas existe algo preocupante por detrás disso e que talvez você não tenha conseguido enxergar e nem ligar as informações.
O Conselho Mundial das Igrejas, unidos para uma religião global, não precisa ter o mesmo nome, basta que tenha a mesma doutrina. Trump não é católico. Todo protestantismo hoje retornou para o domínio católico. Não há mais divisão. Basta ver as interações das grandes igrejas protestantes americanas.
O que é que esses caras estão fazendo? Eu pergunto para você, você tem noção de tudo isso? Você já começou a se preparar? Você está desperdiçando o seu tempo enquanto ainda temos alguns anos para o ano de 2030?
Sorry guys, I added that clip in there. Didn't know it was a different language. I download the stuff and watch it with you guys when I make my videos. So I haven't seen the clip before the time. But those of you who can translate ahead.
And there are billions and billions of galaxies, and each of those galaxies, including our own, have billions and billions of stars. And with the James Webb looking at the exoplanets, we are now beginning to discover, and somewhere out there, we will discover another medium-sized stony planet around a medium-sized sun or star at just the right distance, not too far, not too close, with a tilt in its axis that rotates, that has carbon, that will have a habitable atmosphere. If you ask me, do I believe there's life in a universe that is so vast that it's hard for me to comprehend how big it is? My personal answer is yes.
Obviously.
Portals are windows in time that they're able to find and go through. And that's what our government is trying to find now, so they can do time travel in the same way. I wanted to know what the difference was between the windows and the portals. They said a portal you can go through. They do, and go into another dimension in the future, in the past. A window you can look through, but you can't go through. And it would be on the same dimension you are, where the portals would be able to access the different dimensions. See, some of this can get complicated.
Wouldn't you want to know more how it's done?
Primitive medical care of a species that had barely begun to conquer its own diseases. But as we
Sí. ¿Me la demuestra? Sí.
Did the eyes just change color from blue to a grayish type? And it started reflecting light?
Intelligence that knows all, knows all, knows all, knows all.
technology.
What is that gel used for? Anybody know? Don't know what that is.
Is this a message from some higher intelligence or something else? As an experienced reporter, I'll just tell the facts as they happened. It was a cold, foggy night on southern Lake Michigan, clouds covering the moon, the planets, and all the stars. But there were these bright orbs, shimmering and shining through all the weather. Most of us have now heard stories about these unusual orbs. If you haven't heard about them yet, you're probably only getting censored mainstream media. Anyway, we've heard people say the orbs can actually hear people, so for fun we asked it if it had a message for humanity. Yes, if you have messages, we are curious people. About a minute later, my wife captured this with her phone. Seeing the orbs with her own eyes first, she used the phone to zoom in on them, and this is what she saw. I will leave it up to you to interpret, but we saw two locks in the sky bound together, potentially a message that humanity is locked in low-level thinking right now and could use some more freedom. Or maybe it means there are secrets still being kept from us, and we need to raise our frequency before the locks will open. And then shortly after the show, we were joined by two bright orbs who seemed to hang out and dance. Follow for more updates.
Well, you have to understand that nobody exists on a high level in government who's opposed to the New World Order. Nobody. Our government has literally been infiltrated. And there's a cancer within our government destroying it, eating it, nibbling away at it, hacking off its limbs.
And you said this started in 1945?
1945 was when the overt destruction began to occur, when Truman signed the UN Participation Act and the United Nations Treaty. It actually began long before that, when these secret societies began to infiltrate the government and appoint their members to important posts. Infiltration is easy. If one gets in, he can then appoint and hire others to replace people who are not members below him.
So now we've had over almost 50 years of this going on.
At least. I believe that it started back probably 1913, 1917, when the Federal Reserve Act was passed, when the Council on Foreign Relations became a reality in this country.
You can see that sign of Baphomet, so the statue is also holding his torch and so on. But hey, very interesting video. That's another one for the books, guys. Thank you so much for all the love and support. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel. Let's build this channel from the ground up. See you guys in the next one.